two of the largest manufacturers, EAS and Muscle Milk, were both in there containing high levels of lead and other heavy metals. And we've had some of that in our house. And my husband, who's not always real quick to, he doesn't always believe all that stuff and isn't that super, not on the ingredients and things. And he just flipped out. He couldn't believe it and did not want our teenage son to be anywhere near that. And when I saw that, it's really, really real. And protein drinks and protein shakes are very popular right now. I mean, I drink them daily, on a daily basis, and I'm just so grateful for Arbonne and knowing that our motto is pure, safe, and beneficial, naturally, botanically based. They don't use all of those fillers and things that can be dangerous and harmful. And lead and other heavy metals, and if you think about protein, and many people, and teenagers who are drinking this and consuming it on a daily basis, I understand that maybe a little bit of this and a little bit of that, you can be okay, but this is something that people are consuming on a daily basis. But Consumer Reports, and you can look at it online, July 2010, they did a whole study on protein drinks.
So our heirloom products free from harmful ingredients. Also, if you jump down, our products are vegan certified, which is nice. Nothing in our entire catalog will have animal products or animal byproducts. Jump down to that little section about Arbonne nutrition and weight loss products, because that's where we're going to focus our attention today. There's no artificial colors. There's no artificial flavors. There's no artificial sweeteners. There's no animal products, byproducts, no added cholesterol, fat, or trans fat. And so we're going to talk more about why that's important when we hit on each of those ingredients. And then they're beneficial because, well, they're beneficial. I have to brag on a friend of mine. Because as we're sharing this information, and some of it might be kind of a new way of thinking, you might think to yourself, well, why would I want to do that? And I can say that a picture speaks for 1,000 words. Angie Slayton is in qualification for area manager in the St. Louis area. The picture here on this end was January of this year. She embraced Arbonne's Figure 8 product line and a gluten-free lifestyle. So some of the things that we're going to talk about in this 28-day jumpstart, and she has now to this day, this is a picture that she took just last week, she's lost 50 pounds, 5 sizes. I will pass this around and you can take a look at it. To say that she doesn't feel pretty darn snappy-happy would be a big lie. So you guys can pass that around and take a look at that. And I think the testimonials are just going to keep rolling in. All right, so to give you a sigh of relief that we're not going to go page by page to the catalog, feel free to go ahead and turn to page 63. We're going to jump right to the health and wellness stuff. And we do that. I'm going to just have you ask another question because I'm going to ask you some questions to think about. Because we're going to talk about a particular program that talks about detoxifying. And so let me just read some questions to you because this might be a signal that you may need to detoxify. So if you kind of put yes to this, maybe put a checklist on your client profile to see how many you say yes to. So, do you experience fatigue or low energy? Do you experience brain fog, lack of concentration or poor memory? Do you crave or eat sugar? Do you have less than 2 bowel movements a day? Do you feel sleepy after meals, bloated or gassy? Do you have indigestion, acid reflux after you eat? Are you overweight? Do you experience recurring yeast infections, jock itch, or foot fungus? Do you have, you don't have to raise your hand.
Thank God this ain't show and tell.
That was my old job.
That was my old job. Oh, she's a nurse practitioner.
Do you take prescription medicines, sedatives, or stimulants? Do you experience frequent headaches? Do you live near polluted air, water, or environment? Do you have bad breath or body odor? Do you have depression or mood swings? Do you have food allergies or skin problems? Do you eat fast food, fatty foods, prepackaged foods, fried foods more than 3 times a week? And do you drink coffee and cola during the day? So if anyone answered less than 3 checks to this, feel free to leave. The rest of you stick around. Or maybe for those that answered less than 3, stick around and see if we're on track. Maybe you can share a few tips with us. But these are some statistics that I think might surprise you. The #1 killer of both men and women in the United States is heart disease. There are more deaths due to heart disease for women than all the cancer deaths put together. And heart disease is preventable. When your personal trainers say there are no food accidents, you don't slip on a banana peel and a bag of chips find themselves in your mouth. You don't wake up and you're like, how did those M&Ms get there? So we do put food into our mouths. strikes such a chord with me that I feel so passionate about sharing this information. But for the first time, there's huge concern that our children's generation will not outlive their parents' generation due to childhood obesity and childhood diabetes. And this blows my mind. The average American consumes an astounding 2 to 3 pounds of sugar each week. This is not surprising because it's in the form of sucrose, which is table sugar, dextrose, which is corn sugar, and high fructose corn syrup. And it's put in so many foods that you wouldn't believe it. And now that you know this information, I want you to go home and just start turning over some labels. And you will be shocked at where you find sugar on the ingredient list. It's in your bread. It's in your breakfast cereal. I recall a day I had to put sugar on my breakfast cereal. Do you recall that day? Yes. Okay. My kids think that's crazy. Sugar is in mayonnaise. Sugar is in peanut butter.
Ketchup.
Sugar is in ketchup. Sugar is in spaghetti sauce. And sugar is in your microwave meals. And we consume, as Americans, 135 pounds of sugar per person per year. This is a 26-pound increase over the last 20 years. And in the early 1900s, the average consumption was only 5 pounds per person per year. You guys, cardiovascular disease and cancer was virtually unknown in the early 1900s. So in the 1980s, our lifestyle, we valued convenience, and now we value health and wellness. And we pay for that convenience with our health, quite frankly. I do not think 2/3 of Americans are overweight because it's their fault. I think we're just unaware of where we find sugar. So today, we're going to talk about hitting the refresh button. Today, we're going to talk about a healthy lifestyle, and you might be super health conscious. Spend a weekend with Miss Molly Croker. You'll learn a few things over here, which I love. You might already be eating vegan and organic and whole foods and clean nutrition, or you might be a brand new novice, and all this sounds so new to you. We just want to help you make some adjustments, some simple steps to getting started. So why detoxify? And so I don't forget to make this point. We're going to talk about this program. There are about 20 pages. It has recipes. If you're a guest here and you would like to have a copy of this, you're going to put a star next to your email address on your client profile. And then your consultant can email this entire program to you so you can see it in your entirety, okay? But I really liked this idea. So the idea here is like, why do we need to detoxify? And so if you think about it, we really live in a world where the environment has changed a lot. Over the last 20 years, 26 pounds of sugar, increase. And so our bodies that are very adaptable, we've been around for a while, they can't adapt to how much the environment is changing and what we nourish ourselves with, or maybe don't nourish ourselves with. So I like this analogy that they give here. Think of your body like a bathtub. Okay, so your body's a bathtub. And if toxins through your food, through your water, through processed things, if toxins are pouring in faster than the drain can process them out, the toxins will pour out of the bathtub and overflow. And in our bodies, what happens is they pull them from the brain, the liver, the kidneys, and they store it in your fat. And so your fat becomes this toxic store of waste place, which if you've ever tried to be really good, and you're really watching your weight, and you're exercising, all that kind of stuff doesn't go away, maybe it's because there's so much toxin. And this is my own little personal theory, but has anyone noticed over the last 5 years how much gluten allergy there is? How much, growing up, I don't remember my mom asking if my friends had peanut allergies, like if we could serve peanuts at home. Now my kids, they come over, I'm like, can they not eat anything in particular? It's kind of a concern. Soy allergies, lactose intolerance. Maybe it's because we've been exposed to so many toxins. Now when our bodies are exposed to something we're a little allergic to, it can't handle it. And so this particular program talks about really just hitting the refresh button, stepping away from anything that's highly addictive, like sugar, or anything that's highly allergenic, like gluten or lactose, dairy, in that time. So if you're looking for another really good reference, this is an amazing book. So The Eat Clean Diet Recharged by Tosca Reno. And this is what I just want to